99% of white-collar jobs require basic or intermediate Excel skills. In this video, I will cover the basic tips that you need to know in order to land your dream job. What's up everyone, I'm Dave, I'm a CPA, and let's get deep into the Excel skills that you need to nail your next interview. So the first skill that you need is the pivot table. A pivot table is useful to summarize data when you have a large data set in order to give insight to your team or storytelling. It's a very basic Excel skill and you really need to master that. Everybody does pivot table, so if you don't know how, this is the video for you. Let's say I have a data set here. So all I do is I just select all my data and I click on insert and I click on pivot table here. And then Excel asks me where I want to do a pivot table in a new worksheet. So it says in the title, it's useful to pivot some data. So let's say you have a question on like, who are the top sales representative, the top performers for Q1, by example. Then you could go back to your data set and just filter and click and say, okay, I'm gonna go like this, and then I'm gonna try to find out, but it's kind of complicated and it takes time and you want to be performant at work. So that's why you make a pivot table as I made here, and then you can just drag to the right here. You see the fields, you take the sales rep, you put it into the rows, and then in the total amount, you could put the values. So now you see all your sales rep, who's the best. And the question was for Q1 only, so now you can add something else. You can drag the sell date, which in my data set is the date that there was something that was sold. So you add it below the rows. And here you can see a little bit more by rep, how much they sold. You can drag the month back up above the sales rep. And now you have the Q1 sales right here for the 3 first rows. So you can play with the pivot tables. If I would like to have my dates as a row and my reps as a column, by example, you can just go like this and you can see really quick who are the best for Q1. M&M didn't sell anything. So that's it. You get the point here. You can just play with your data and very useful. Actually, one more thing that you could do is, by example, if you would like to know what's the maximum amount of what my sales rep sold, you click here in the values, you go to value field settings, and then you could do the max or either the average or whatever you want, right? So now you can see that the maximum that Britney Spears sold in January is a transaction of 2.4K. The second skill that you need to nail your interview is to know about the IF formula. So what is the IF formula? It's a formula that is going to give an answer based on a criteria. And if this criteria is true, it's going to give you whatever the answer you wanted to give back. And if it's false, it's going to be another answer. So why and when should you use this is that you want to quickly analyze data or summarize it based on different conditions. And I'm going to show you a quick tip here. So we're going to go and write the formula together. I'm gonna move my camera real quick. Here we go. So let's say I want to analyze the sales of above $1,000. So I'm gonna go here and write the formula equal if, and then the logical test. What is my logical test? I want to know if the sales is above 1,000 and then I put the comma, and then what I want to give back, I put the text brackets. I want to say, please analyze, or if it's false, I close the bracket, put a comma, open the bracket again, give me whatever I want. It could be a number, it could be, let's say, not significant, right? So we have the same pivot table as we had a few minutes ago. So it's gonna give me, please analyze if it's above 1,000. Actually, let's change 1,000 because I have nothing below 1,000 here. So let's say 4,000, right? So it says please analyze, right? So I just drag down my formula, grabbing the bottom right corner, and boom. So here, okay, you see not significant, and the other, they say please analyze. Quick tip again that is going to be very useful. You see how I put the art value in here? What you could do is, let's say your boss asks you, oh no, I want something else, I want 5,000 instead. You could put this in a cell. Let's put it in yellow just so you guys see. And then you just do the reference. But then I go like this and I drag my formula and something happens. Look at this, look at the formula. I made a big mistake here. I forgot to put dollar signs, which are absolute value or reference cells. You click F4 or you just put dollar signs before the letter, and after the letter it's gonna lock the cells, and then you can drag. Another quick tip, you can double click, it's gonna drag down, but you can just drag it down, right? So that's the if formula, super useful. What I want to show you as well is the third tip of this video is that you could add conditional formatting, and I won't even explain it, I'll just show you how this can be useful. So conditional formatting, you just select the column and you click on conditional formatting, and let's highlight the cells that equals to please analyze, please analyze. And here you go. Every cell that you needed analyzed, you have it in red. So that's the conditional formatting based on the text function. Again, same thing. What I could have done, let's say it was not a pivot table, let me copy the data here. I could use the conditional formatting just like an if and say greater than 5,000, let's say, and I kept them in red. And what I could do after that, let's say I have an analyze to do, is I could get rid of the noise. So I do a filter here, and something I really like is filter by color, and see how you got rid of everything that didn't need to be analyzed. So then you can type your notes here in a column, blah blah blah, biggest sales of Rihanna, let's say, and here it is. You have the conditional formatting. Something that will be really cool with the conditional formatting, let's get rid of the filter and let's clear my rules real quick. Clear rule from selected cells. I could have a scaling bar that tells me who are the best just with a glimpse of an eye. So let's put this in the middle, and conditional formatting and color scales like this. So if it's green, it's really good. We have some subtotals here. Don't look at the data, but you get the picture here. So if it's greener, it's better. If it's red, it's worse. So really quick, you could tell if you have a large data set, which month were the best. Actually, let's do it on the pivot table right now. I'm gonna go here in the pivot table, extra tips real quick. I'm gonna remove the subtotals because I don't want extra noise. And I'm gonna go in conditional formatting, data bars. Let's put data bars. So here you see that May was really good for Britney Spears. It was her best month. You see it just with a glimpse of an eye. And here I have a grand total. That's why my bars are really small. But look, if I remove my grand totals off for rows and columns, and then I reapply my conditional formatting, I'm gonna go data bars again. See how I see that Lady Gaga in June was probably the best performing month of the whole year. If you learned something so far in this video, please hit the like button, as it will help spreading the video to more people. And yes, on the screen, that's a heart. My art skills are way worse than my Excel skills, don't worry. All right, back to the video. Another skill that is a must for your interview is to know how to make charts and graphs. A good story starts with charts, and it's way more visual, and at your next job there is a high chance that you'll have to make some PowerPoints. And for storytelling, you can't really go like this with the data set and just go freestyle, right? You need something for the VPs, high level people, that they need to understand your data in 1 second. So I'm gonna show you a few stuff just before we get into the charts, so you make sure your charts are living charts, actually, that you can change them every time. So here I have my data set, same pivot table again. We have Britney Spears, Dwayne Johnson, Eminem and stuff. So I'm gonna go into pivot table analyze tab, and I'm gonna show you something that you'll like. It's the insert timeline. So you're gonna put a timeline, and then Excel auto detects that the only date that I have is the cell date. So I just click here and see how cute this is. It shows me this timeline. You can click on quarter, and let's say I only want Q1, And there we go, we have a timeline. So that's only before we get to the chart. I click on my pivot table again, go in the pivot table, analyze, and then I click on the pivot chart. You're gonna see. And then Excel offers me a lot of different charts. I prefer the bar chart, it's legit the best one. And see how easy this is to play with. I have my sales rep here. If I want to filter, remove Britney Spears, by example, it's gonna remove Britney Spears. And let's say I want to add Q2, I hit Shift, and boom, I have way more sales rep before in Q1. That's because remember, in Q1, that's not all of my sales rep that sold stuff. That's why they were not appearing. So I click back on Q1, my pivot chart auto adjust. If I go back in my data set, I change something, my pivot table, you just have to hit refresh here and it's gonna refresh everything. Nothing manual, you just copy paste this chart into a PowerPoint. You're gonna tell me yes, but it's not really great looking. You go into pivot chart analyze, you can remove the fill list, fill buttons, you can delete this legend right here, and here we go. We have a cute chart, but let me show you one more tip. Let's get rid of the chart. Let's get rid of the pivot table to the left. I made a data set real quick. That is, let's say the sales, this is dollar signs at the top and the growth. And you have this and you're like, okay, I need to showcase to the VPs and all my company, what was the sales growth for the past years. So I go here and then you can go insert and then click here. If you want to impress everybody, you can just press Alt F1 and boom, you have a chart, right? So what I want to show you is the combo chart. It's my favorite chart. I always use it. I think it's the most representative chart to show your thoughts. So you go to change chart type and you go to combo chart, and then you see you have the growth and the sales, and you put the growth as a line and you check secondary axis. So that chart shows you that your sales went up. You have on the same chart that you grew 5% in 2021, 11% in 2022, and 60% in 2023. And you can play here with the chart elements. You can say, okay, I don't want the chart title, I'll put it somewhere else in the PowerPoint. You can put the data table below. I don't prefer that, to be honest, but you can put it. You can put the legend to the right, let's say you prefer to the top or to the left. You can add a trend line on the sales or on the growth, by example, that shows a trend between the years. So, and also the axis title, really important. If you want to put more stuff, growth percentage here, and actually sales dollars, and that's it for the charts. Okay, the last tip, please don't blink. Actually, the VLOOKUP formula. When I was 16, and that's a true story, I got denied at an interview at a bank job because I didn't know what VLOOKUP was. So don't blink, let's get deep into it. So VLOOKUP is useful to merge two datasets based on a unique value. And why and when? Every time. You're gonna use VLOOKUP every day of your life, I swear. So let's take this example here. I have a tab which is the hire dates right here. I have all my hire dates and I have my data set here. And see how I added a column that is written hire dates, but it's empty. So I could go like really manual and say, oh yeah, I have my hire date in that other system and put them manually, but it will take time. We're here to save you time and show you how to be performant. So I am gonna add the hire date to this data set, and then I can do some analysis in my pivot table from this same data set with the hire date up there. So we're gonna go with VLOOKUP. So equal VLOOKUP, and it's super easy, you're gonna see. So it asks me look up value. So what do you want me to look? I want to look the name of the sales rep, Rihanna, put a comma, and then the table array. Where is the data located? It's located in the hire dates tab. So I go here, I select the two columns, and then they ask me, what's the column index number? So which value do you want back? I want the hire dates, it's in the second column, I just put 2. And then they ask me, do you want the exact match or the approximate match? I want the exact match, so I will put 0. Because if I put the approximate match and I have two people that almost have the same name, let's say I have Rihanna and Rihanni, then Excel might mix them together. So that's not good. I just click enter and see the date is here. The format isn't accurate. I just put short date, and once again, I just drag my formula and all the higher dates are here and my formula is still here, and it just merged the data together. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I just showed the VLOOKUP, which is a very old formula, but if you want to really impress your boss, you should watch this video right here because it covers the XLOOKUP and you can say goodbye to VLOOKUP when you learn this new formula. Enjoy your interview and please nail it. Remember the piggy bank accountant. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button.